The sharp winter wind bit through Jim Carter's worn jacket as he loaded his toolbox into the back of his rusted pickup truck. It had been a slow month for the handyman. Money was tight, and the stack of overdue bills on his kitchen table only seemed to grow taller. But when Mrs. Delaney called, her voice trembling with worry about a leaky roof and a broken furnace, he didn't hesitate. Mrs. Delaney was a widow in her late 70s, frail but full of grace. Her home, a modest, weathered house at the edge of town, was a relic of happier days. Jim had done odd jobs for her before and knew she barely got by on her small pension. She had offered to pay him what little she could, but he waved her off. "Don't worry about the money, ma'am. Let me get your house fixed up before the next storm rolls in," he said with a warm smile. For the next week, Jim poured every spare hour into repairing Mrs. Delaney's home. He patched the roof, fixed the furnace, tightened creaky stairs, and even replaced the broken front door lock she hadn't mentioned. He refused to take a dime, knowing she couldn't afford it. "I don't know how to thank you, Jim," Mrs. Delaney said one afternoon as he tightened the last screw on the front porch railing. "You're a good man." Jim shrugged. "You don't owe me a thing, Mrs. Delaney. Just keep warm and safe." Months passed and life carried on. Jim picked up other handyman jobs, but his financial struggles didn't ease. One chilly spring morning, he received a call from an unfamiliar number. "Mr. Carter, this is Samuel Blake, an attorney representing Mrs. Margaret Delaney's estate." Jim's stomach dropped. "Estate? Is she okay?" The attorney paused. "I'm sorry to inform you, sir, that Mrs. Delaney passed away last week, but she left specific instructions to contact you. Could you come to my office?" Grief mixed with confusion as Jim drove to the attorney's office. He couldn't imagine what Mrs. Delaney would have left for him, maybe a few sentimental trinkets. He would have been honored just to know she thought of him. Sitting across from the attorney, Jim was handed a small sealed envelope. Inside was a handwritten letter in Mrs. Delaney's delicate script. "Dear Jim, you gave me something far greater than repairs. You gave me hope in my final years. I felt invisible, like the world had forgotten me, but your kindness reminded me that there is still goodness in this world. Thank you for seeing me when no one else did. I hope this small gesture will help you as you helped me." The letter ended with a simple signature, but what followed left Jim speechless. Mrs. Delaney had left her house. She didn't have any family, the attorney explained, and she wanted him to have the home he had so selflessly cared for. "It's entirely yours." Jim's eyes brimmed with tears. For the first time in years, the weight on his shoulders felt lighter. A home of hope. Jim moved into the house, not as an owner, but as a caretaker of Mrs. Delaney's memory. He fixed it up, turning it into a sanctuary for others in need, a place where struggling families could find shelter and warmth. The little house at the edge of town became a symbol of kindness and second chances. And every time Jim walked through its doors, he felt Mrs. Delaney's presence, a quiet reminder that even the smallest acts of compassion can change lives. In the end, Jim realized he hadn't just fixed her house, she had rebuilt his life.